Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues, Arroyo, Episode 2. Where we last left off, the Chosen One has left in the middle of the night. Took his gear, took his damn car, which he's probably going to leave in Reno, and then it gets stolen. It's happened to me. So we take the battery out before you leave. Yeah, so we have a new council leader. And that council leader is Chita. She's a little manipulative. It says here, we have our blessed land. As much as we want to say otherwise, we well know that we aren't alone. While the Arroyo was once at the mercy of foreign powers, nothing could be further from the truth now. We have a duty to protect our neighbors, but we owe our own people even more. Higher influence increases the likelihood of a peaceful resolution to a crisis, while higher coercion strengthens our ability to strong-arm our neighbors. Failing to accumulate enough of either will prevent any peaceful outcome. If 40% coercion or influence is held over a country that is safely be considered an outcome overcome by Arroyo, overcome nations will have the best outcomes for Arroyo at the end of their respective crisis. However, it is never clear when exactly that crisis will end, so it may be worthwhile to pursue short-term objectives while sacrificing coercion or influence. We really don't have anything yet. So, she's cruel. Whatever. Do you have any button for the crises? No. They're still fighting over the Navarre territories. Unfortunately, Fuzang is losing out against mechanized troops. Kids' games. Chita had decided that naivety was charming. Nadia, her closest confidant growing up, had plenty of that. Really, Chita had decided to hope that naivety was charming. If it was, she truly had no excuse for the amount of time she spent with that idiot. They had been introduced to each other first and second cousins. At the time Nadia's parents had left the vault, Nadia needed a new family to live with. A few years later, Chita would learn about what vault security had found buried in Nadia's parents' floorboards. But she had been preoccupied with much more pressing matters when she met Nadia, namely, how completely idiotic she was. Chita didn't mind calling people stupid, but Nadia was truly, deeply, amazingly stupid. It wasn't even that she was dim-witted like Nagor, or lacked common sense like Dmitri. Nadia was just an idiot. At first, Chita cursed her misfortune. It was just her luck to be forced to make friends with an imbecile. Yet the more Chita thought on it, the more she began to believe that Nadia might be a blessing in disguise. Thing is, everyone knew Nadia was stupid. Few people liked her anyway. It was pretty easy, when needed, to blame everything on Nadia. She wasn't thrilled with that, obviously, but she knew better than to challenge Chita, the only person who would at least put up on the facade of being her friend. Actually, it was been a while since Chita had seen Nadia. Wonder what happened to that girl. To simpler times. I guess she's gone. So, let's make money. Trader rest stops. Sadly, much of the infrastructure in our territory has begun to decay, deterring traders from entering our land. Investing in rest stops along our road should alleviate that somehow. So we'll up our trade system. Caravan trader. Make that money. Oh yeah, we can start buying guns. Once we get up to there, when we get to 10, we'll probably buy more. No, we don't need to do that, because I could build freaking cars all damn day. Especially in this game. How unlikely it might be. The Geezer's Rebellion. Everyone had worked tirelessly to moderate the industries of Umbra's tribe, but despite overwhelming popular support, a number of religious hardliners have refused to accede to the process. This discord struck a high point this week when a number of elderly warriors and shamans took up arms in Eastport's Kirby area, driving out the tribal warriors loyal to Averon. While the situation hasn't escalated to a civil war, the increasing autonomy of the eastern regions, along with Averon's failure to assert control over them, making the possibility nearly inevitable. Averon has contacted the Arroyo Council for support, hoping we will be able to solve the crisis. They seem well armed for at least a bunch of old people. Unlock influence and coercion decisions for the relevant country. I have money. I'll invest in them. I don't have freaking political power. God damn it. So Umbra, we're at 15%. If we get 40%, we're good. We will gain influence. We will lose coercion. Let's build our bonds with the Umbra. Averon's plea. The loss of control of Kirby forced Averon to turn to the Arroyo Council for help. He was hesitant at first, fearing that the Chosen One's departure may have signaled an isolationist growth within the tribe. His fears were subdued by the council itself, however. Chita, Dimitri, and Nagor all vowed to support Averon's desire to industrialize against any dissenters from the tribe. Of the three, Nagor was the most passionate, exclaiming that Arroyo and Umbra should share the same bond that Sulik and the Chosen One once did. Dimitri recognized the importance of Averon's work, especially his efforts to create a more formalized clinic and medical training. Chita agreed with the other two, but kept a sly look of her thoughts to the council session. After a brief discussion, the council broke for the evening. Of course we will be there. Arroyo will aid our neighbors for a cost. We're going to do influence. And then we will invest. Little bastards. Ooh, let's invest in ourselves too while we're at it. Chitsa's plan. Chita was the first to meet with Averon after the council ended. Her idea was rather simple. Umbra would allow Nagor and the Arroyo military to establish permanent bases across their territory. While this would give Arroyo a stronger grip over Umbra, the advantage to Averon was clear. Still, Chita worried that it might be too upfront. If Averon grew resistant too quickly, any future deals would be harder to agree upon. Despite her concern, Chita suggested the plan. For now, Chita kept the friendlies overtures, so we will gain influence. We're at 30%. If we get if we get 40% on that, we can still, once we have 20 more political power, we'll secure the border with them too. But let's get build bonds. So we're gonna sacrifice from coercion. 35%. Invest. Now we're at we'll have the percentage up, and we'll start working on coercion at the same time. Follow the National Guard. Well, that sucks. Oh, hey, some of you guys, I think I have enough. Yes, I do. You guys will switch to rioters. Almost there, but 60 more, and we'll have it. Arroyan roads. As the Gek secured the Arroyan people's survival, the Chosen One began to instruct Arroyans to build roads into the wasteland. Construction quickly to promote a rapid increase in trade, the roads have since begun to fall into disrepair. Already relatively small to begin with, the roads have begun to collapse and be overtaken by passing wilderness. While still serviceable for Arroyo's current level of trade, any increase in the trades would first require an expansion and repair of the road system. Chita has promised to spearhead the rebuilding effort, but now faces a choice in how to deal with this recruiting the manpower needed for the expansion. Max X next door, make them build it, repair it. The effort is certain to be a net positive economically, but fairer wages could buy the workers' loyalty and more permanent support of inches among the populace. However, a more brutal oversight of the road building will complete the road faster, whatever many lives it may cost. Of course, Chita could simply decide to allow the effort to proceed as is, which whatever or that will bring. It is better to be feared than loved, but why not be loved as well? They will work to their bones, and then my guards will make them work some more. We've created enough extensive enough plans already. Yeah, fuck her karma. She's tyrannical. Everyone's gonna be tyrannical by the end of this. Kaga thinks he's bad. Wait till he meets me. Supply and demand. Weapons may normally be for the army, but Chita was a clever idea of mine. Expanding domestic weapons production might allow certain exports opportunities, allowing Arroyo to cash in on wasteland anarchy. Once we have that, once we have these done, we should probably build up the infrastructure. Local workplaces. We don't need that right now. We need probably some conventional warfare. You know, actually, I'm stupid. We're gonna do asymmetrical warfare because we're doing Bully Boys, which is a nerd, whatever the hell they're called, rioters. Soon we'll have enough to do that. So we have 45%. So we use one for one of things of 5 influence to raise the coercion up. Then we secure the border with them. That'll raise another 10%. Strike against the modern. Their calls and cheers far preceded their appearance. This band of Uberos was at first nothing more than an odd curiosity for the watching traders. What were they doing here? Were they with that rebel group? Those questions faded away, were replaced with terror as the raiders charged the caravan. Bastards. I'm gonna kick their ass.
Hello.
We have 12. Secure the border with Umbra. Yeah, just keep doing that. How are we on that? We're building up. The Sixes Trading Dock. The port of the Sixes represent underutilized potential for Arroyo's economy. Most trade might come to Arroyo through land routes, but expanding the dock might allow for a safer alternative, at least for those that can afford a boat. Speaking of which, build some convoy boats. Little bastards. Secure that border. Grandpa Figleaf presents demands. While the anti-modernization movement in the eastern regions of Umbra has so far been largely leaderless, one elder has begun to emerge as de facto head of the movement. Grandpa Figleaf, the elder dating from the Sulix era, has presented a list of 10 demands to Averon and the other members of the tribal council. Can they even write? Those demands include the resignation of Averon as tribal elder, permanent rejection of industrialization, and greater autonomy for their eastern regions. While Averon has been willing to concede on some points, he has refused the vast majority of them. Grandpa Figleaf, in turn, now falls under the banner of the tribe of Eastern Umbra, an autonomous part of the Umbra tribe. Increase our border presence and watch them closely. Little bastards. Is that Figleaf? Grandpa Figleaf? Well, you'll be done soon. I promise you. You are going to be a writer. Also, taking a Petro Chica. No! Averon prepares for war. Damn right he should. Grandpa Figleaf declaration clarifies the situation. Averon knew that he had mere weeks until the eastern tribesmen entered into open rebellion. Disheartened that peace no longer seems to be an option, Averon begrudgingly contacted the Arroyo Council again. Aware that war is now inevitable, Nagaro's military had two options. They could either deploy to the Umbrian forces, working together a joint maneuver, or conduct their own drills at eastern Umbria's northern border, threatening a pincer attack. A joint plan was the most logical route. I agree. We're at 25. We're almost... We have 3 more we need to get done. And then we're at 40 and 40. First strike. With war now on the horizon, the members of the Arroyo Council need to decide how to begin the war. The simplest option would be to wait for an enemy attack to respond in kind. While this would prove a clear justification for the conflict, they feared that such an attack might catch them off guard, giving the rebel forces the upper hand in the conflict's opening stages. A preemptive attack could be launched, but it would be difficult to explain to Averon, who simply hoped for a peaceful resolution. There was a third option as well. If the rebel attacks were to be fabricated or provoked in a key location, the war could be framed as a defensive struggle while still retaining the initiative in battle. A few dead centuries of Averon's would work fine. Nagaro would cooperate closely with Averon's defenses. A few dead centuries. We're at 35, and now the day arrives. Hold on. That's some bullshit. We lost it by 5 freaking things. God damn it. See, if I could have got both, that would have been good. So everyone's worst fears had come true. We've both known from the outset that this was a possibility, but stubbornly believed that he could make his people see reason. He had failed. Grandpa Figleaf's warriors have swarmed across the border, demanding the return of Grandpa Bones as a symbol of the tribal leadership, the death of Averon, and the rejection of modernization. Arroyo, honoring their pledge to Averon, has intervened on Umbra's behalf. War has come to Umbra. We'll honor our alliance, or Umbra troops will be commanded directly by us. Because we have high influence, but imagine if we had both. Damn it. Shit. Just go. How many people do they have? Possibly 10. We have 9. Go to Kirby. Just go straight to Kirby. Destruction Ranger Citadel. Who cares? Sir. Get right to Kirby. We got that done. And we only get 240 days for that one. Screw that one. Gek cleanings in Arroyo. Clearings. One of the immediate benefits of the Gek was its clearing of needless forests and boulders to make space for arable lands. The device power is long tapped, but our builders can follow in its footsteps, making room for further industrial expansion. Just go right to there. $91, $92, $96. Almost there. Grampy fig leaf, little bastard. Oh no, I missed that. Shit. My bad. It's too far back. My bad. Exploit Umbra. No, we gotta save all our political power for further conflicts. I'll take that. We'll take 40 cases. 51 to their 61. Damn it. Trying to take that city is really hard right now. 82. Yeah. Wealth is health. Chita's maneuvering have left the tribal council with more than enough in their coffers. Maybe it's just other members of the council getting to her, but she's begun to realize that the strength of the tribe does not solely rest on the power of its leaders. Reinvestment in Arroyo could help everyone, and most importantly, herself. So her karma will increase, development will increase. She'll lose 10,000. That's okay. We got plenty. I think that's ready. Hell yeah. Guys need to bust them out. So, do we want combat language? Probably. Damn it, they won in Navarro. Shit. Frightening news reached us this morning from one of Chita's sources in Hornbrook. A massive breakout was staged in Hornbrook a number of nights ago, and a sizable portion of Maxic's prison population managed to escape into the wastes. The prisoner's government has obviously attempted to keep this under wrap, but the information our sources have gleaned suggests a major mutant named Whoz, a former member of the Master's Armor, later turned outlaw and led the revolution. While MaxX security hunts down the escapees, our forces must remain on protecting our citizens. Border defenses can only do so much, and it seems that proactive steps may be necessary. Shit. So, let's see what we can do on this one. So it needs to be 40% or more. Invest in MaxSec. Secure the border with MaxSec. We already have what for them? We have 10% influence. So we will spend that influence to even out the two, and we'll just bring them both up. Almost there. Yes. We have fought for this damn territory, and we're going to keep it.
Sir.
rioters. The rebellion crushed. The Geezers' rebellion, which had wrecked the Oregon tribe of Umbra for nearly half a year, is now over. The remaining warriors surrendered to the combined Umbra-Arroyan forces today. Grandpa Figleaf has fled across the Packers border, and is now leaderless traditionalists have realized that they have no path to victory. All that remains is to set out a new path for the eastern area of Umbra. The ties forged between Umbra and Arroyo have permanently placed the tribe under Arroyo's wing, meaning the decision lies in the hands of the council. The state could see its forests cleared to accommodate new industry, but it might be benefit Arroyo more to see used as a supply path for any further southern conflicts. Industrialization is our first priority. Now everyone get on that frickin' border, because Jesus Christ. Rats. Prisoners stream across the border. God damn it. The Max-X warders' attempt to round up escaped prisoners seem to only have incurred their flight from the territory. Early yesterday morning, a number of wounded Max-X officers, followed closely by a band of pursuing prisoners, crossed into Arroyo. Our border security engaged a portion of the prisoners in a brief battle, but the majority managed to escape into our territory. Our choices now stem from each of the three leaders' perspectives. Dimitri is focused on making something of the wounded officers, while Chita has drawn up emergency plans to coordinate the capture of the escaped prisoners. Nagor, meanwhile, has urged both of them to agree to new security measures, including a drastic increase in military funding. Dimitri won out. The officers are fully recovered before being sent home. By Chita's command, the prisoners were captured and hung on the border. Nagor focused on funding into border security, preventing a further repeat incident. I like this. Hang the fucking bastards. Where are we at now? So 2020. Okay. So we're going to do... We're going to secure the border. I'm going to do coercion first for this. Too bad it takes forever to get freaking political power here. And I can't buy any new people to help me with it. Oh, I could have got 2 off map because I'm not neutral karma. Oh, sigh. We don't need those yet, because we don't even have enough building for that yet. So, Doris Warbands. The Den has long been a tumor in Arroyo's trade. An alternate route to the north is offered trade to method avoid Arroyan markets. Chita's spies have spent the several previous years making contacts with the raiders in Doris, allowing her to pay them off to step up their raids on traders in the region. Mercenary training tech. Okay. She's cruel. Capture the Warren. Here, we could do this, invest in MaxSec, and do the next one that pops up. Get bricks. Come on. Where are we at now? 35. Okay. Secure the border. Secure the border. So invest in MaxSec will give influence. Secure the border. Let's just in case something pops up. Let's do the. Let's tighten that so it'll get us to that 40. Danger close. Arroyo scouts placed in MaxSec security territory have been forced to flee in the face of ever-approaching sentry bots. The robot seems to have somehow malfunctioned or perhaps been hacked, and is now heading straight for Arroyo territory. Even though it's alone, the robot's formidable armor and missile launchers have made it all but impervious against our scouts' attempts to halt it. Dimitri's robotic experts shut it down, but it costs 200 manpower. Chita knows that everyone can be hooked, some even to suicide charge. So we just get 10 more support. That's stupid. Nagor personally leads a team across the border to destroy the robot. We lose influence at... Okay, we'll do... Dimitri Robots expertly shuts it down. So we have 15, so that should help us. Hopefully this is over with. Not before we're done here. I have worked really fast to get one of those above the other. Chitsa's logistics. Kept hidden the best of her ability from the Chosen One. Chitsa's success as the Arroyo trade manager came both from strong negotiating skills under the table dealing. Chita made subtle contact with the dealers and bandit gangs that harassed trade approaching Arroyo from the south and offered them a deal. They take their businesses elsewhere instead of robbing traders traveling north from the Den to Klamath, all in exchange for a hefty yearly sum. With one swift blow, Chita managed to both remove Klamath as a serious trade competitor and help Arroyo prosper. While the deal has been in effect for years, Chita has recently reevaluated the stipulations. In a secret letter sent west to Doris, Chita explained the new prospect or aspect of the contract. Increase the plunder. Too many still take the route north. That's awesome. So, backdoor purchases. Winning market preference. Extorting four-way. Support the gunrunners. Let's do backdoor purchase. Hold on. That's common weaponry. So yeah, that's probably better. So, backdoor purchase. While Nagor might be focused on pursuing self-sufficiency in the military, Chita knew that the easiest way to obtain weapons would involve importing them. Crucially, the imports had to be done discreetly so as to avoid alerting Arroyo's neighbors to their plans. Did we get... No, this was not done yet. So where are we at now? We're at 40% there. So invest in MaxX. So we're going to be keeping that going. The rise of the Whoz game. Thankfully, we got the coercion. Till now, the prisoners have managed to escape. MaxX prison had been disorganized, to say the least. While there were often gangs of 5 to 10 prisoners working together, they were just as likely to attack each other as the guards trying to round them up. The emergence of Whoz and his gang, however, has completely shifted the dynamic within MaxSec. A leering and massive superman, Whoz and a number of his fellow muties began to recruit smaller prisoner gangs to their cause. There seems to be little cause for alarm as the gang has maintained an isolated camp within the nearby forest. Yet last night, Whoz gang assaulted and annihilated a heavily fortified MaxSec outpost. As far as we can tell, Whoz gang shows no signs of stopping and is slowly making their way towards the main prison structure. Due to their utmost nature of the crisis, a response falls to the elected council leaders. Aiding MaxSec would be costly, but it was Chita's best opportunity. Chita pursued discreet sabotage and assassination to cripple the Whoz gang. An inspired and capable leader, Chita knew that was who she wanted behind MaxSec. Karma will lower. Fuck it. This might be stupid, but it might be funny. I gotta stop doing that. Okay. Increase those. You guys are all becoming writers. Whoz land. Woz's army made mincemeat of the Maxx defenders. Despite the best efforts of the remaining guards, along with a small militia to those looking to defeat Woz's reign of terror, the gang broke through their lines with little difficulty. Whoz had declared the remaining prisoners to be free and placed them all under his protection. Maxx neighbors have responded fearfully, and its former patron have fled to California and Nevada, seeking shelter from the prison madness. Anyone sympathetic to the old regime, as well as anyone suspected of being so, is quickly being rounded up and massacred by the horde of bloodthirsty inmates. Savagery. Is that over with because...
Sir?
I'm just gonna save it because I already had the coercion. Oh. Okay. At first, the others would hear none of it. The Maxx gamut. Neither Dimitri nor Nagar particularly liked Maxx, but their Superman marauder, never would they agree to ally with him. But Chita persisted. With enough promise, assurance, and briefing, Chita brought both of them on board with her plan. Whoz, for all his bravado, had the making capability of a leader. Any capable leader, Chita reasoned, could spot the enemy's weakness as well as their own. Whoz ruled a young nation of murderers and psychopaths, all of which eyed the position with envy. His survival now rested primarily on keeping his subjects in line. Chita proposed a deal. If Whoz agreed to act in conjunction with the Arroyo military, as well as allow a number of high-profile refugees to escape to Arroyo, Chita would ensure a regular supply of goods and crops to Whoz. Let's add to their capture weapons to our list of demands. So, available due to high coercion, and Wozland gets the event. Arroyo offers a deal. 1,000 units of Wozland infantry equipment is added to the national stockpile. Whoz accepts. Just as Chita expected, Whoz accepted the deal. It remains a secret, at least for now, but Whoz is already using the time to solidify his grip on Maxx populace. Whoz is a cruel leader, and many will cast judgment on Arroyo for cooperating with him, yet the realities of the situation has forced her hand, and Chita's scheming has managed to prevent an outbreak of war. So, what a month. So, they are a puppet. So, I could bring them in later. I have 2 puppets now, which I could annex later. So, with that, I'm going to end this episode. So, what happened? We took care of the Umbra crisis and the Maxx crisis. So, we'll see what happens later on. We still got the Mirelurk tribe that took out the, whatever the hell these guys who lived here. The Apostles. Marrow-Jerkers are fighting Trollwarren. Bone Dancers are fighting Shushai Nation. She is just being she. They're invaded the Divide. Ha, funny. And, yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. Please like and subscribe. And comment anything you like. And I'll see you guys next time. And there you go. Ta-ta.